Awesome. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yay! Tonight's our raffle night, guys. Welcome to Let's Talk About Ice tonight. And we've got a really packed show for you tonight. Before I introduce my guest, I'm super excited to share with him and hear his story and his journey. Guys, this show is about hope. It is about, that there is hope for people in addiction, and how we came out of that space, the impact of this drug called ice and other drugs on our lives, and that's why we do this show. So if you can share this show on your Facebook page, it doesn't cost a lot, guys. It's just a little click. You don't know who needs to see it, and you don't know how far this is going to reach and how many people it's going to help. Every day people are calling in to get help, and whether you're a family member that has a loved one in addiction, or whether you are that person that's been sent this video and you've been living a life entrapped by ice or other drugs or any form of addiction, we want to help you break free from that and create a life worth living, because we've been able to do that, and we're helping people every day. Just to give you an idea, this month we've helped 9 people get into rehab just with our On the Streets program, so our outreach program. That many people that have rung in. So, we're helping families every day. I've had the honour of meeting one of the young men that I was helping his mum while he was in addiction. He went to prison. He served his time and he's turned his life around, and he came in to volunteer yesterday. It was a 2-year journey. But, we can help change lives by supporting through lived experience, coupled with, clinical evidence, best practice. So we want to reach out to you and walk with you if that person is you that are watching the show and you're entrapped in that cycle of addiction. It's a terrible place to stay and destroy your life. So you're worth living, and you're worth having a life that's awesome. So we just want to share tonight's show with you, and I hope that you can share this on your Facebook pages to encourage other people. Sometimes it's a very silent thing that people are going through, and they don't know who to talk to. So please consider sharing, because sharing is caring. Christmas is a time of sharing. So if I ask you today, please do that. That would be amazing. Before I introduce our guest, I need to say a couple of thank yous. So a huge thank you to some of our sponsors in the last month. Serenity, for the Serenity bags from Share the Dignity. Thank you so much, guys. Share the Dignity provided Serenity bags for us to share to all our people that we do outreach to on the Streets program. Some people are homeless, some people are doing it really hard. And these bags were supplied by them, by Share the Dignity, to support people in need. So thank you so much for your hearts. It's huge, and it means a lot when people receive a gift like that. Thank you to Heritage of Faith for providing some much needed support for a family that's now working with us, but the husband is doing some time for past stuff that he's done while he was on drugs. So you supported them through Christmas with a couple of food parcels and hampers. So thank you, Heritage of Faith Christian Church in Burleigh, for doing that. We really appreciate that, and the families do get a lot of emotion, and they're really grateful for your support. A huge thank you to Document Solutions. They have been absolutely amazing, supplying us with a big commercial printer for years now. And they don't charge us anything. They just, let us use that, and they service it. They supply us inks. Thank you so much for Document Solutions for your help here on the Gold Coast head office. It means so much. We really, really can get a lot of printing done and resources that we can share with the communities. Thank you to Division Council for, we have different division councils that gave us some donations to help with the education programs for next year in your community. Division 1 and Division 13, thank you so much for your support. We have had another 6 divisions come forward. Those are the 2 major divisions that really showed a lot of interest in helping their communities. So thank you so much. And the Rotary clubs across Australia. we couldn't do this without you guys, and we're so grateful that you get our vision. We want to get to the top of the waterfall, stop people falling into that entrapment of addiction, particularly with ice. And a lot of the Rotary clubs have been sponsoring schools and helping us get into their community. And next year, I think last year we had 8 Rotary clubs join us across Australia for the walk against ice in September. This year, we're hoping to have a lot more. So if you belong to a Rotary or you know somebody from the Rotary Club, please let them know about the Walk Against Ice in September. But now's the time to register for it, and beginning next year is the time to let us know you want to join. And all the funds raised in your area go to the workshops in your schools. Yeah, so let us know. Reminders and promotions. The office will be closed from the 18th of December. And we reopen again on the 11th of January. However, our care team and our family support number, which is 0481 844 555, we're on all the time. Yeah. So we are still answering urgent calls and emails, but our team, our events team, administration, all of that will be having a little rest. They're well-deserved rest. They've worked really, really hard this year. Even through COVID, we've helped more people than we've ever helped before. So really want to take my hat off to them all at the head office and just honour them all for their hearts. It's continuous work. Every day they come in and dedicate their time, their heart, do what it takes. They drive out to Ipswich to deliver stuff to people in need, drive people to meetings. It's just incredible what happens here in head office. And midweek it's like really buzzing and heaps busy. We're hoping that our WA team have launched, and we're getting some really good traction there. So we're hoping to have a buzz there happening as well as they start rolling out into schools next year. Townsville team are getting trained up early next year. Things are just hitting the ground running, and Ipswich, and it's going to be a really busy year coming up. So if you haven't booked your workshops, now's the time to send the email. Get onto our webpage, www.australianantiicecampaign.org.au. If you work in a school and you have interest in booking a workshop, please send us an email. We can schedule that in, let you know our availability, because it is going to be very, very busy next year. We're working with child safety, we're working with mines, we're working with workplaces, but schools are predominantly our point of target. We're going to stop those youth from falling down that entrapment and getting stuck there. Also, we are after some volunteers for our op shop. So we've had a few health issues with our volunteers in our op shop, guys. And next year, if we don't have any support, we're not going to be able to reopen our op shop, and that's what's keeping us afloat. So we've got one permanent staff that can work 3 days, but we need other people to join. So if you have time to give, or if you know somebody that has time to give and you're on the Gold Coast, we need your support, yeah? So please private message us, or hop onto our webpage and click volunteer with us and just write us a little bit of a blurb. It's how many days and how we can contact you. But we're not going to be able to reopen until we have that, or at a very small capacity, 1 or 2 days a week. So I'm doing a big shout out. Like I said, Christmas is a time for giving. Think about what you're giving into throughout the 2021. Like, it's been a hard year, and I understand that, but it's by giving that we receive. Once you grab that and you get a hold of that and you realise that, the impact that will come back to you, is 2, 3, 4, sometimes tenfold. So we need your support right now to keep that going. Don't forget our Bliss Trio package. It is going to be available until January 2021, Rianne tells me. So you can still get, it's a big package. It's on our Facebook. It's on our webpage, and you can get a massage and a foot spa and a facial, and it's only $80, and it's amazing. It's a great Christmas present. So if you haven't, got your Christmas present for your loved one yet, there's an idea for you. And half of those proceeds come to AARC to help us educate more kids. Yeah, so thank you so much to what's another? Charmaine from Essential Grace. That's right. I always forget the name of the company. And now it's time for our Christmas raffle. Oh, this is so itchy. I know Rianne's standing by because she wants to win her little friend. What's his name?
Sean B.
Sean B. And he's huge, man. Like, he's bigger than me. He looks a bit sad because we didn't sell a lot of raffle tickets, and so we've got 3 prizes, guys. So we're going to raffle it anyway, honor that, but we really didn't sell many raffle tickets, so we're kind of giving it away. So if you did buy raffle tickets, thank you so much for supporting the cause, and I hope that you win one of our prizes. There's 3 prizes. The first one, which is the third one, is the op shop voucher. So it's $10 voucher for our op shop, and this is the basket I'm supposed to pick out of. So we have our raffle tickets in here, and it's a $10 gift voucher for our op shop. Yeah. Oh, somebody's speeding out there. The rain's coming down really hard here on the Gold Coast. Let me see. Rianne, you won that. It's a $10. We can't win both. So that's Rianne's won that one. So that's the number, and you have to produce the stuff. So that one's your gift voucher there, Rianne. It's a $10 gift voucher for the up shop. So you get that one. The next one is the second prize, collection of children's books. Now, if you haven't seen this, you haven't been paying attention, man. If you have grandkids, like, these books are like brand new, and there's all these amazing kids stories, and there's about 12 books in here. So you have Spot What and stories of Winnie the Pooh, and there's some Disney stuff, and there's heaps of books here, and they're really, really heavy. So if you haven't bought a raffle ticket for that, you're not in the running for it. So let's have a look at that. We're going to have to pull one out. Let's see what we got here. Who do we hit? Oh, that's Sissy. She won it.
Sissy.
Yes.
Yay.
Sissy, you won the books for your great-grandchildren. Yay. Thank you for buying a ticket. Well done. And big Sean B. Bear, you going? Are you leaving? Everybody's been like amazed that you're sitting out here. So let's draw that. And Rianne's like, please pick me. She wants him to lay down in bed with you. So big.
Yeah.
He's bigger than Rianne. Like, he's a little pocket rocket. So let's have a look at that. All right. Oh, Carrie Ann, you have won the Beaver. Woohoo! Yay! So for your kids, isn't her number here? We're gonna have to contact them. Yeah. So we will contact all our winners. Thank you so much for supporting the cause, and see you, Shawnee Beaver, and all the gifts. It's time to get serious. Get off the couch. It's not time for you. We'll get him off the couch. Ho ho ho! Have a good Christmas. Guys, have a safe and wonderful Christmas if I forget to do that at the end of the show. So I'm just going to take this off a little bit because it's really itchy and yuck. And we're going to introduce our guest. Awesome, I can't wait because we haven't really heard his full story, and I'm looking forward to it. So Rianne's going to bring him up on the show. We're doing this crossing over live to Townsville. So I guess it's in Townsville. We're ready to go. Awesome.
Hello.
So welcome, Beau.
Hello.
How are you?
Yes, good.
Awesome. Welcome to Let's Talk About Ice. And Beau, thank you so much for wanting to share your story and help us raise awareness against this terrible drug called ice. Well, we all know that, all drugs have consequences and side effects. But this particular drug is destroying a huge part of our community and destroying people's lives. It's not just about, partying up, but it's seeing the impact of this across the nation, across the country, even internationally. It's really breaking down families, and it is really destroying souls. And a very small amount of people actually come out of that addiction of the entrapment of ice. I'm so keen, because I know you've been in recovery now for a year. Is that right?
Yeah.
Over a year?
4 years clean before that, and did 2 months of bad indulging. But clean now, yeah.
Awesome. So that's a year and 2 months, is it?
Yeah.
Well done, mate. Congratulations. I want to hear the journey, and I want to hear. I mean, you're a striking young man. You come into head office. You actually will be working with us. I'm so excited to train you. You will be one of our educators, and I'm really looking forward. You've already started budding people, which is peer support, guys. And I am super, super excited to have you join this team a little bit, in more full swing early next year. But at the moment you're in Townsville doing some work. I want to go back because, I've seen you come in here. You're so, you're well spoken, you're well dressed. I wouldn't pick you from a barrister for have been a drug addict. Okay.
Yeah.
So most people go, what does that look like? Drug addicts, druggies are those in the streets, and they're the losers with low economic, social background, and they're, involved, homeless and all of that. Tell me about how your journey, your bit of your background and your journey, because you're not your typical, I guess, druggie, if you want to put it like that. And I'm speaking for self too, because what does that look like? General community out there have a picture and a vision of what that looks like.
Yeah, no, yeah. I don't know. I guess I was very good at hiding stuff when I was in my full swing of it. I was a chameleon. I could I could hide things from other people and to get what I wanted when it come to that drug, I guess.
Yep. Tell me about what your background was like, though. Like when you were little, what was your background like? Did you have a family that were using drugs?
Loving family. Best mum ever, stuck by me.
Mm.
Yeah, sorry, I got the next door neighbour talking to me. Mum's next door neighbour.
Okay.
Loving. Still at the same neighbourhood. Yeah, loving family. Had a good mum. I'm here at hers now, staying here.
Yep.
I was just lucky to have family that stuck by me through it. I had no excuse to do it. I just tried it, and it was awesome. And then I thought it was social, but it turned to being, when you're doing it by yourself, it ain't social anymore.
Yeah. Tell me, were you into party drugs, or so they say, recreational drugs and other drugs? Tell me where your drug use started.
Well, it was weed, the gateway drug, so they reckon, which is, it's so true. But we won't get into that. Then it was pills, and then ice come along, and like pills were for fun. They were on the weekends, but then when ice come along, the pills just got shitter and shitter, and yeah, the ice, excuse my language, the ice, it just took over, really, to be honest. Not wanting to go to sleep.
How quick did that happen? How quickly did that happen? Like, and I want to know too that. So we'll take one question at a time. How quickly did that happen? Did ice take over, do you think?
At the time, I didn't really notice it, but it was definitely 6 months. I would do it all the time, and then all of a sudden it was just, you needed it to stay awake, like even just to go to work. Like I always worked, which I justified why I was allowed to do what I was doing, but it was definitely, after 6 months, it was in control.
Yeah. And tell me, how old were you, like, when you started using drugs? Like,
see, I was late. I started weed, like, I didn't even know what ice was, so I was like 22.
So when you
weed,
drugs?
Yeah, say again, sorry.
How old were you when you first decided to try drugs? Like
16. I tried weed.
So what were you thinking at the time? Like, did your parents, obviously, you love your mum. She's been awesome support for you. She probably, she would have said to you, don't do drugs, though.
No, she didn't really think she had to be honest. I was pretty good at school, pretty good at a lot, and it was more of a, I guess you could say, fitting in with older kids, but at the same time, I still hung around older kids. I went looking for it. I went looking for something that wasn't perfect.
Yeah. And so you started using a bit of weed with the older kids, and, well, most parents, we hear, oh, that would never happen to my kid. My kids are studious. They play footy, and that kind of that wouldn't happen. And so they don't think that they need to do the extra education because the schools already do education about drugs and sex ed and all of the things that they think their teenager needs. However, I think there's a presumption. I had education too, about don't do drugs; it's really bad for you. But there's always that curiosity, I guess, and wanting to fit into in kids. Was that a factor for you?
Yeah, it definitely was. Like I said, like it's chasing that something different. Like I was just looking for something that I didn't already have, and I was always well behaved. I wanted that out, and then when I enjoyed that out, I got hooked on that out kind of thing. It was,
And once you tried ice, you said within 6 months it kind of took over. How long did that journey last, Beau? And what happened in this journey? Tell me about it.
To be honest, I was so lucky. Like I've seen people just go, just end their lives, and it's sad. For me, I worked all the time when I did it. I thought I was in control until you start. I don't know. Your mind starts playing tricks on you after a while, and it all catches up on you, and you can only lie and say sorry so much, and then there comes a point where I just went like, I need to try and stop this, and that's when you're addicted, when you try and stop and you can't. Like you realize that I actually can't stop. I need help.
Yeah,
that was a big changing moment when it comes to me with stopping. Was just when I actually said I'm going to stop, and then tried and couldn't.
Yeah.
Because you always say you're gonna. It was, yeah.
How long did that journey take when you started using, and then to the point where you realised that you can't stop when you wanted to? How long did that journey take?
It was about 4.5 years, I reckon.
Wow.
4.5 years of chaos. Yeah.
Tell me what happened in that time, and what did I take from you?
Oh man. Yeah, it took a lot. I've only got. I'm lucky to have true friends and true family that I've still got in this to this day that stuck by me. But yeah, I thought I had a lot of friends. It was just it was all fake. When you stop something, the people you hang around with, when you stop something, it's very hard to to look around and go, yeah, actually, I don't have that many friends. I was just in it for the drugs. So what I lost was probably true friends, and then get the shit one, or the bad ones. And I was just lucky enough to keep my family.
Yeah, what about you, like internally, in terms of who you were? You're a smart boy, a smart guy. When you started using drugs, how did it affect you physically? Tell me about. I don't know about you, but I don't know. Most people go into psychosis, and
yeah, definitely.
Tell me about what that journey was like, mate. Tell me about, because people at home don't get it, right? So they don't know what happens in psychosis. Tell me about how that was for you. How did you have kids? You married? What?
I've got a young. Yeah, I've got a young girl. She's 3. She's not of my life. I think everyone says that, but she really is. What it did to me when I put it down for so long and then picked it back up for that 2 months, what it did to me was the most mind-opening, scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life. I was in full-blown psychosis, living by myself for the first time, and I thought people were in the walls. I had every number plate that had an X in it, like the letter X. It was in on a conspiracy that people were after me. I went through 6 different email addresses. My next door neighbours both sides were shit scared of me because I'd be tapping on walls and running around, digging holes in the yard, thinking it was just chaos, like absolute chaos. And you don't want to tell people because then they think you're crazy because you think it's real. I dead set 100%. You could try and tell me right now, like back then, it was real in my head. And then to tell people that, to trust someone to tell them that, and then if it isn't in your head, then you're losing it. So it was like hiding two secrets, you know what I mean? Like hiding your goose and then hiding that you literally think everyone's out to get you.
Yeah.
So
how did that
and
impact your family, Beau? How
um,
how
I
did your
think
days?
like I said, I mean, in the long run, it's affected like that. Me doing that in the long run, that short period, that craziness in the long run, I'm glad I went through it. It scared the living out of me, and
Yeah.
I kind of needed it just to know that it's not. It's not. Yeah, you can go for so long and you in your head you can make it think that it's going to be different next time. You can just have it, but it's 10 times. It literally was 10 times worse. I think
Yeah.
the more educated you are, too hurts. Like the more you know how much it's gonna, why you shouldn't have done it, and gets in your head as well. It's just like it's a very scary thing.
Yeah.
Got no one to talk to. And if you talk to yourself, you think you're going crazy as well. So
Did you have a partner at the time, Beau?
I actually relapsed because of a bad breakup. So and I relapsed because my ex partner took my daughter off me. I was full time with her, and then she decided to take her off me. Then I decided to use, and yeah, it was 2 months, 2 months delay on the bigger picture. Put it that way.
Yeah. And at the time, how long were you in recovery? How long were you not using when you relapsed?
4.5 years.
Wow.
I dr-
Wow.
I drank, but with meth, I had not touched it. So
Yeah. So do you think, what have you done different now, Beau? Like, how do we know, like, for instance, that you're not going to relapse after 4 years? Like, what have you done different now? Why is it different?
how does anyone know that they're not going to relapse? Do you know what I mean? Like that's the bad part about this. Like everything's circumstantial, but I know that I am the strongest I've been. I'm the strongest I've been now, just because the sheer fact that I'm literally see a life at the end. You know what I mean? I have a life with my daughter. I've just won her week on, week off. I'm a good dad. You know, I might not earn as big of money as I used to, but I'm trying to do something that I can put my head on my pillow at night and go, well, you did something today. You know, I guess it's just knowing that it's just one. I'm just one shot or one pipe away from being 10 times worse than I ever was. And I guess it's a lot to do. For me, it's like it's fear and then it's belief at the same time. It's
Yeah.
just
So
seeing that the grass is greener, I guess.
yeah. You can have a life that you worth living. You can have a family and a job and have hopes and dreams and achieve them. But see, this drug will stop us from achieving any of that. It's just going to strip us. It's there to still kill and destroy our life. It's not going to give us the ultimate goals and life that we want to live. Have I lost Beau? I think I've lost Beau on the internet. So Rianne's trying to get him back on board, guys. We have to put a framework in place. We've got him back now.
Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. So I was just explaining to people that we have to put a framework in place to help us at those times when we are at our weakest, and that the opportunity to use again is going to come. So everything that you've worked for, and you know how hard recovery is, everything that you worked for to get back, you're going to let that one time use steal all that from you again. And you're going to go, not only back to where you started, but you always go further back because there's other consequences of relapse as well. So I know that it was worse when I relapsed than it was the time before, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore because this is not the life I want. So we have to make a decision. Okay, I know that when I got weak and I got emotional, I used as a form of masking my emotional what was happening. How am I going to prevent that from happening? Because that's not the outcome I want. So we've got to learn to play the tape. as so we speak it when we're budding somebody. Play the tape to the end and see if that's the outcome you want. And if that's not the outcome you want, make a different choice somehow or other. Make a different choice for your life, for your future. So I guess when we talk to people in recovery, it's like, what have you done different to put that framework in place for you? It's something we're thinking about, because I know myself, I've had plenty of opportunities to that has invited me to use again. Yeah, and I'd be lying if I said that I didn't remember that first hit. I was explaining I did a media thing today with Mamma Mia, and I was explaining that if I gave you chocolate, and a really nice chocolate to eat, and then you tasted that chocolate, but then I told you that you can't have that ever again because you could die, and it was poisoning your system and it's going to steal your life. But you remember how that chocolate tasted, but you're not allowed to have it ever again because it destroys your vascular system, your family, it steals your health, your mind, your everything you love. It's a very difficult balance, but the only way to stop from having that chocolate is not focusing on how good it tasted, but the outcome that it gave you. And it's called playing the tape to the end and saying, yeah, I have choices. The choice is mine. And what else can I do in the face of that? Meetings are really good too. Do you do some meetings now?
I'm not a big meeting person. I'm more, I go to church when I need it for top up. I pray a lot.
Yeah.
I have a good foundation. Like I said, I could count my friends on my hand here, and when I need anything, and I need to just vent, I have certain people that I can ring and I talk to that just can just listen. And even if I am talking chaos, they still listen, and then don't even have to give me an answer. They just have to listen.
Really important. That's why we do the tripod, Beau. As you know, we put the tripod in place. We have a buddy, guys, and we have a counsellor, and it's important that we have that framework of support. And then we either go NA or church or a community of people who are non-judgmental and will help love you back to life. That's what that group therapy is about. So, we encourage people to get on this tripod system of support. If you have been trying to get clean, and we're talking to you out there, and you haven't put a framework around you, give it a shot. Contact us. Let us help you with some resources and counselling, a buddy. Put that in place because it is so much easier. Some people are dead set against not going to rehab. Did you do rehab?
Yeah, I've been twice. So the first time I got clean, I went to rehab. I did 7 months, and then when I had that 2-month little play up, I just went in and to Mirakai, and I did 4 weeks, and just to try and get the ball back rolling again.
Yep.
And it helped.
Yep, that's good.
It helped a lot.
It does help. Of course, they have all the tools there, and really get us to refocus on using those tools to have the ultimate outcome that we're wanting. And so I did counselling externally, but I was scared to go into rehab because I thought I was going to get locked up, and I thought it was like a jail because I was in a bit of psychosis. And it's like, if I knew then what I know now, I'd be like, man, I just everyone coming out for help, go to rehab. It's so much easier, man. You don't have to cope with life, and you can really focus. Hey, tell us a little bit about how you.
How what? Sorry, rehab.
Yeah.
Oh man, rehab for me, it's good to have people. I think it's great for a kickstart. Like you're away from something, you're away from the normal, and you're also with people that are trying to do the same thing. So there's that central goal where everyone's, they're trying to, even if they think they're not, they're still there. So they're obviously trying, even if they're in denial, you're still there trying to do the same thing. And it gives you routine too. Like if you don't have a routine, like just simple things like wake up, make your bed. Like that starts for me. If I don't make my bed, and that's the start of my day. That's the platform, you know what I mean? So just little stuff. And I get up and exercise every morning. They just teach you things that to keep a different, a healthy routine instead of your normal routine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
can I ask you something?
Yeah, of course. That's what this is
Do
for.
you do you have ADHD?
Am I ADD?
Yeah.
My mum thinks I am. I've never been diagnosed. I've definitely. I could put her on, and she'd tell you a different story.
Not that
Um,
you look it, right? But I just
I can't
find
sit still. I can't sit still.
most of us do. Most of us do, and we also have OCD, which is we want everything like to be like
Yeah,
organized.
I'm
I
pretty
can't have a
tight.
picture.
Yeah, I'm pretty tidy. Yeah.
And I guess without a system or structure in place, it's really easy to get off track for us. I find I need times, I need schedules, I need everything in a block that I follow. I have these vitamins in the morning, and then I do this, and that's my routine.
Yes.
And if I get outside of that, I get uncomfortable, and I feel like I'm losing control, and that is it, putting yourself in a dangerous spot, because then your emotions rise, and then you act from a place of emotion. Yeah.
I think repetition is a good thing in recovery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bad thing in
Definitely.
addiction. Bad thing in addiction. Good thing in recovery.
It's channeling it into the right direction.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with OCD and ADD. It's like you've just got highly successful people have those attributes. It's something in the brain that works different to other people, but you've got to channel that in the right
Yes.
direction. You've got to a positive outcome and not a negative self-destruct. I was really interested in some of your thought processes when you started using drugs and ice. What were you thinking when you're hiding it from your family? And did you know, did you think I shouldn't be doing this, or hey, everyone does it? What was it behind? What were your thought processes?
To be honest, I think it. Oh man, this is a hard one to answer because I think that I was conscious of what I was doing was wrong, but I also didn't really feel how wrong it was until I stopped. Like the first time I stopped, I looked back and went like,
Yeah.
it was a lot clearer. Like that, you've had a problem for this long, but you're in denial for this many years, and you get to a point where you got a problem. Like you just admit it to yourself. Doesn't mean you're going to stop, but then eventually, everyone starts disagreeing with your lies, and I had to stop. I did it to prove people wrong that I could stop, and then when I got there, I actually couldn't stop. So it was like it ended up being for myself, not for other people. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know it's so. Oh yeah, hiding it from people. Yeah, I was good at that. Like I had that mastered. You know what I mean? It didn't bother me until I actually stopped to smell the roses. But then, same time, I hated myself for lying, not using. I hated the lying to the certain
Yeah.
people that I loved. Like the using part, yeah, that was using, but the lies that come after is what I hated the most, to be honest. Which is why I probably used again and again and again.
Yeah. And did you end up in any trouble? Like a lot of people end up, robbing things and in gangs or trouble, getting beat up, and I don't know. What was your journey
No,
like? Did you
up
just
here in Townsville, we just used to get drunk, use, and fight. So that wasn't really, you didn't get in much trouble for it. But so, as for theft, I didn't really get into it. I always had money. I always worked. But I lied. Like that's my main part. Like I was an addict that had money because I worked, but then I wasted it all for my addiction and just kept scraping by. That's why I lasted for so long, and I just kept just above that line, before psychosis was where it all ended when I come back to it. So
See, that's why I wanted to highlight that, Beau, because people have this preconceived idea that if their loved one or a son, if they're not homeless and can't talk anymore and out of control and getting in trouble with the police or getting in violent crime and stuff like that, then they're not really an addict. That
yeah,
they fail to see and look for the symptoms, because they're not because they're failing, but because they are unaware of what to look for. But generally, people think they have this preconception of what a drug addict looks like, and how,
Yeah.
they call it a junkie. You're wearing dirty clothes and you walk on the streets. Well, it's not quite like that. You were working, you were holding a job, but you were out of control internally, but trying
Yes.
to mask that and keep it going. And if families and people in the community could get a lot more educated on this by listening to people that have been through it, how could people recognize? Talk to me about how you think families out there watching, how they could recognize or learn about, that their loved one might be in trouble.
Like you said, what you're doing now, like talking to these young kids, like, and I know this sounds sort of, they have parents that they just watch and they think, they probably have jobs and they're still using, and they're coasting through life, and these kids watch these parents and they think it's normal. I think like teaching kids at a young age what isn't normal. Do you know what I mean? Like that it isn't good for you. It's not normal. It might look okay from the outsides, but a lot of people are fight. Like I think everyone who uses it's fighting demons. Some people are just better than hiding it than the others. Do you know what I mean? Like.
Definitely. But how would, like, if you were talking to a family today, and what would you say? You as a parent, you're a dad. How would you keep an eye on the kid when that time comes that you know that they might be introduced to ice and other drugs? What are you looking out for, mate? Like, how could we or your family have recognized that you're in trouble earlier than 4 years, and maybe giving you some support numbers or showing you that this is going to destroy you, mate? Is there anything that you can help?
I guess just looks like big highs, real big highs, and then even bigger crashes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Especially for young kids. Like, just for me, it was like I knew I could use, and I'd be there, but then I'd crash, like physically, emotionally, internally. Just looking for it's just manic behavior, man. Right.
Yeah. What does a crash look like, Beau? People don't understand.
It all depends. It all depends. Crash is not leaving your room, eating heaps and sleeping for 24 hours at a time.
Yeah.
I've just been advised. I'm not going to be rude. I've got 5 minutes left because I'm going to have to get in the car and go on playing.
How do you get that? Thank you for that. Awesome. We won't be much longer. We'll wrap this up. I'm just trying to paint a picture out there, because we've got families watching and they're like, well, my son looks okay, but, I'm worried about him, that he might be addicted to drugs. Do you have any advice to families?
Oh, man, it's scary not like being a parent now, like, and just not. I think the main thing is to try not to scare them, but not scare them away. Talk to them and tell them that it's okay, and then explain like it's okay to talk to you. Have that relationship with your children where you actually care for them, and you can say, "Listen here, like this is what it does." You know what I mean? I know you're trying it, but you need to stop it. This is what happens. And showing people like that. Just showing people the bad side of it, really. It's disgusting, man.
Yeah.
It can be glorified, and you need to show people the disgusting side of it.
Yeah, and then you lose when you bury people that you love, and you watch them lose their lives. It's a very different journey.
Sleep is a brilliant thing. We shouldn't deprive ourselves of it.
Yeah. And I know you do. So I'm not going to keep you much longer. Any final words for people at home? So we've got two types of people watching here tonight. Families that have loved ones that are in addiction and they don't know how to help them. And then we might have people watching that might be, starting their recovery and really struggling with that. So do you have anything?
Yeah, I do. I do. For me to get through the other side, and I know it's a small percentage, was just having that one person that had that unconditional love for me, and that was my mum. And she I did some cruel, not to her, but lied and cheated and done a lot of things that she did not agree with. But at the end of the day, yeah, she was angry, but she was always there next to me to say that, it's not okay, but I'm here with you to go through to fix it. So I just hold on, man. Just hold on and try. Just try. Obviously, I was just very lucky in that instance, just to have that one person that can just be there, even if you've stuffed up.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
And hear her perspective on what she prepared and how she walked through it, and what tools she learned along the way to help you, because it is a family problem. Yeah, addiction is a family problem. Addiction to anything. All right, so you need to do the journey. It's important that families do get the tools and awareness so they can help their loved one. I'd love if you ask your mum whether she'll be on the show one day. I'd love to hear her perspective on it.
Yeah, she's pretty good with words too.
Awesome. I hope you get to chat with her. But Beau, you have a safe flight back. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And I know that you're budding some guys at the moment, and I look forward to training you and hitting the schools and workplaces and stuff, and helping it raise awareness about this drug. Hey.
Thank you, Andrea. Merry Christmas to all.
Same to you. Before we go, can I just teach you our slogan, or have you seen it before?
Yeah, was it A? No, not even once. Yeah, not even once.
Yeah, even once.
Not
Ready?
Even once.
Not even once. See you, brother.
Once.
Beautiful. Yeah, God bless. The flight. We'll see you back on the coast. Merry Christmas, brother. Bye. Awesome. And that was our Let's Talk About Ice show tonight, guys. I'm so grateful for Beau sharing his story. It is a long journey in recovery. It takes 12 to 18 months for your brain to be totally, healed, balanced, and for your recovery to really kick in full swing. But he's doing amazing. He's got an incredible amount of support. He has a church group, and he has counselors, and he has his family, and he is now engaging with AARC and has the full support of our family here at AARC. So if you are watching this show, if you might have been sent this show, somebody that loves you and cares about you might have sent you this show, so that you can have a listen to Beau's story. And it destroyed his life. He lost his kid, he lost his partner, he lost people that suicided along the way. He managed to get out of that entrapment, and there is hope for you as well, for your loved one. And and if you need support, please call us. That's what we do. So the family support number is 0481 844 555. That's the family support number. If you're a family member with a loved one in addiction, please call us. We want to send some resources. We want to walk with you. Our counsellors, trained counsellors, have lived experience. They know what's going on for you. There's no shame in it. We just want to give you some tools to help. And if you're entrapped in addiction, honestly, freedom is so awesome, and having a life that's awesome, worth living, is so good. And we'd love to see you here with us on this mission. So, reach out, give us a call, or send us a private message. We want to help you make that path, straight, and help you with some tools. So everybody have a very Merry Christmas. Be safe. Please don't drink, drive. Be careful with substance use, please. It could take you to hell that one time. We care about you, and we're here to support you and help you along the way. So thank you for everybody's support that's been following the show, and all the financial support and all the workshops that we've done. It's been an incredible year, even though COVID has hit. We can't wait to hit the ground running next year. I'm super, super excited. And just a big kiss and hug to all of our volunteers. I know if you're watching, I love you so much. I really do, for your hearts and your help and support in this mission. Look forward to seeing you next year. Meanwhile, go to our YouTube channel. We have so many Let's Talk About Ice shows, and we'll see you back on the week of the 11th of January. Have a safe Christmas. God bless. Take care and stay clean. Bless you.